Hi everyone, this week's question's from Lisa, and she asked me about how long I've been an art therapist and what did I study to get to this point in my life. Which is a great question, Lisa, and probably something I should have already answered. But let's start when I first left school. So I wanted to be a filmmaker when I left school and studied communications at uni. So I've always been interested in people's stories and what's happening in their life and looking and observing at what's happening for people, which then led me to working in a school because things didn't quite work out with the filmmaking career. And one thing led to another. You know how you get drawn on a path that you don't really know what's happening, but it all makes sense now that we're here. And I ended up studying counselling. So I have a master's in counselling and became a school counsellor. And what I did was use lots of creative art in my counselling. So I used to use symbols, I used to use lots of different mediums to get the young people I was working with to express. And I sort of knew that there was something in this, particularly when you can't always put words to things. I met a couple of people who were studying transpersonal counselling. So I then studied that. Yes, I've studied a lot. And that led to art therapy. So officially I've been an art therapist for 5 years. And I really want to make the difference because I've been a therapist for about 15 years and have lots of experience working with youth and people living with cancer and doing workshops and all of that stuff. But the art that I was doing in the counselling is so much deeper now. I know what I'm doing because I studied art therapy. It's not just doing a picture, it's about choosing a medium, it's about navigating what's happening. How do we process something? How do we get more insight? How do we really navigate something really deep and meaningful for our clients and for them to get the outcome that they would like or explore what they need to explore. So there is a difference between a person who uses art in their counselling and an art therapist, because the art therapist has studied different techniques, different ways to go deeper. And it's really quite irresponsible, I don't know what the word is, but it's really important that we know that when someone calls themselves an art therapist, that they are actually qualified to do that, because the art takes us to really deep, unconscious, meaningful places. And it's quite dangerous if people don't know what they're doing. And so officially, I've been an art therapist for 5 years, but I've been navigating art in counselling, which is very different for quite some time before that. It's one of the reasons actually why I'm running a workshop in a couple of weeks about using art in counselling, because I see people who don't really know how to navigate it. And it's not going to be art therapy. Let's differentiate that, because people go up to master's levels with art therapy, and a one-day workshop is not going to make you an art therapist. It's so much more than that. So in answer to your question, Lisa, I've officially been an art therapist for 5 years that I got my certificate, but have been a therapist for a long time before that. And all of the studies that I've done have all informed each other. And I continue to study. You know, I'm working with people constantly to improve and learn and look at best practice. And that's what we should all be doing as art therapists, because this is a really serious thing. It's not to be taken flippantly, and it's not just art to look good. It's art to purely express and to navigate your life and really get through things. So thank you so much for asking that, Lisa. I'd love to hear from you guys about how, if you've been to an art therapist, how you've experienced that, how that's different to normal counselling. But also, you know, what's been the path to your career? You know, one thing leads to another, and ultimately you're on the path that you are. So keep the questions coming, everyone. There's a couple of crackers in the pipeline, so I can't wait to answer them too. But thank you, Lisa, for your question, and I'll see you guys all next week. Take care now.